Hello, welcome to this update for the Western Pacific. So let's see what's happening. There's the new Tropical Depression 13 there further north near Japan, and there's Typhoon Yagi there in the South China Sea. So let's see what's happening. The track is almost the same as yesterday for forecast to go into southern China and then Vietnam there. So let's see here, but now it's a very strong typhoon already there. So it's a strong typhoon. So let's see, and it's forecast to become a super typhoon there in the South China Sea, and then going to southern China is a very strong typhoon. So if this happens, there might be some super typhoon to very strong typhoon conditions there, especially near Hainan and that small peninsula in southern China. There might be some violent typhoon conditions, and then it's forecast to make landfall in northern Vietnam as a very strong typhoon. So this is by let's see, this by 6 September, so around Friday. So it might make landfall in Vietnam like late Friday into Saturday, and in southern China there late Thursday into Friday. So please have your preparations more than done. Alright, this will be practically a violent typhoon making landfall in those areas near Shuan, Haikou, Leis Ho. All those areas might experience violent typhoon conditions. So please have your preparations already made there, and if you follow local authorities for orders and evacuation plans, because it might be smarter to evacuate in a storm like this. But please secure your homes, stay safe from flooding when this arrives, from coastal flooding, storm surge, and very damaging winds. This might have some very damaging winds. Now it shows some gusts of 200, some sustained winds of 205 kilometers per hour. So the gusts when this makes landfall, it might be around like 220 kilometers per hour or something. That's some very damaging wind gusts. So please find a way to stay safe there from the flooding and from the wind. So let's see the models. So this is already Typhoon Yagi. It's already very strong there. You can see it already has an eye and everything, so it's intensifying at a rapid pace. Most models take it generally in that direction, China and Vietnam. No big track changes forecasted, but here, so let's see the models. This is the GFS. It goes down to 940 millibars, 932 millibars super typhoon, and then it goes as a violent to very strong typhoon into southern China and Vietnam there as a strong typhoon. So let's see, and even later has some small systems bringing more heavy rain in the Philippines, and some other system forming and even hitting Guam. The GFS is a system going to the North Mariana Islands and into Taiwan later. So take that as a grain of salt, because the GFS is highly exaggerating on that strength, but be aware, you never know. So let's see the 0Z European. It shows Typhoon Yagi. It's getting down to a 953, like there will be like a almost violent typhoon, and then it makes landfall as a 951. There'll be like a violent typhoon almost. So then it goes to northern Vietnam as a very strong typhoon still, brings some potentially some life-threatening conditions there. So let's see, the Canadian has a very strong array and getting down to 964, making landfall in China. So the track on the Canadian is still further north than it's being anticipated. but let's see the icon. It has it going down to a 948, like super, like Violent to Super Typhoon. Make landfall a 958 around that, like Violent and very strong Typhoon. Then it goes into to Vietnam. There is a very strong Typhoon into northern Vietnam. And let's see if it finishes off there. And then the icon has some other systems trying to spin up later, and it has that system from the GFS kind of forming near the Mariana Islands. So let's see the Euro again. So there's Tropical Depression 13 that just formed, and let's see the Euro keeps it there and then dies off. So nothing crazy with that. And this is the 60. So let's see what it shows for Typhoon Yagi. Goes down to 950, like Violent Typhoon, and goes very strong Typhoon to Violent Typhoon there and to northern Vietnam. So this could pose some very hazardous, life-threatening conditions there in Vietnam and China especially. So please stay safe no matter what. And let's see, this is the half-say model, hurricane model, goes down to a 948 there, almost to super typhoon, like Violent Typhoon. So then it goes there into the southern China with some very strong winds and nasty rain, and then it goes into kind of northern Vietnam, but southern China, so it has a little bit north than the official track as well. But let's see here. There's the H-Wharf, the other hurricane model, and this one goes down to 938 super typhoon. Then it makes landfall a little bit further north as well, but 951 like Violent, very strong typhoon, and then goes there into northern Vietnam and China. So please be careful there, no matter what. And let's see here. So these are just models. This forecast will change, but let's just show an estimation of the wind gusts. So this is the European. It has some winds going into southern China, about 164 km/h gusts, 161 km/h gusts, 147. So this will be some very hazardous winds. And then throughout the island, 90 to 100 km/h gusts. Further north to China, 99, 100, 116 km/h gusts, and all the way to Hong Kong, 72 km/h gusts by Friday. So let's see, this goes there, and then it has even some stronger gusts going to Vietnam, close to 184 km/h going to Vietnam, and very hazardous conditions there, 135, 99, 100 km/h gusts there, even in other parts of Vietnam and Laos, 60 to like 80 km/h gusts there, even northern Laos. So please stay safe there, and it might leave some remnant stronger winds by China on Sunday. So let's see the GFS. So it has a tiny bit north than the European, but it shows like 152 km/h gusts that there in southern China, 136, 130 km/h gusts, and then into northern Vietnam, about 96 to 100 km/h gusts there. So most models show it stronger than this when it gets to Vietnam, but we'll see. And here's the icon. It goes like very strong there into southern China, more than 172 km/h gusts, and in this northernmost tip of Hainan, this island goes all the way to 184 km/h gusts on the icon, and then it goes into northern Vietnam, 171 to 175 km/h gusts into northern Vietnam, all the way to 178. So then it goes there, leaves more strong winds and ice. So please stay safe. There'll be some life-threatening conditions for China and Vietnam there in terms of flooding, heavy rain, might have landslides in some hilly areas, and storm surge. So please be careful, and the damaging winds too might cause damage. So let's see. Here's the waves from the European. It shows some 6 to 7 meter waves there in southern China, and then into Vietnam, some further islands of Vietnam. It has like 4 to 6 foot waves there. So please, footnote, that's meter, so meter waves. So please be careful there, no matter what. And let's see, in other parts of southern China might have some bigger surf, as this system goes away some 2-3 meters in some other areas. So please stay safe there. And let's see, so the rainfall accumulation from the European, it has more than 300 millimeters in southern China, 200 millimeters, uh, 248 millimeters, let's see, into northern Vietnam especially, 200 millimeters. So this might cause some life-threatening to potentially some catastrophic flooding in some areas. So please stay safe, don't drive through flooded roads, stay in your home or on high ground away from flooding, and please be careful there. Southern China too might have more than 100 millimeters. Hong Kong, the next 5 days shows up to 100 millimeters. As the remnants of this, plus some more tropical moisture from Myanmar crosses there, it shows more than 200 millimeters for northern Laos, Myanmar in the next 5 days, up to 300 millimeters in central northern Myanmar. So please be careful there. Southernmost China shows all the way to 200 millimeters there, as the remnants of this linger around there and cause some very heavy downpours. So please be careful, especially in northern Vietnam, Laos. There might be some very heavy rains with a lot of flooding expected, and I've seen these systems before, and they cause a lot of flooding. So please warn others there, tell them about what's coming, and do what you can to stay safe. This will be very dangerous. So let's see some other areas. Cambodia, southern Thailand, 100 millimeters, all the way to 180 millimeters there. More showers and storms throughout Cambodia during the day. And in Thailand, some more storms through Laos there, central southern Laos. So be aware too. But Myanmar shows a very robust monsoon there, more than 200 millimeters next 5 days through southern Myanmar. So please be careful in all of those areas with some heavy downpours and potential flooding in some areas. And let's see, eastern India starting to show again some more heavy rains throughout eastern India there, and then more than 100 millimeters, and through western India still showing more than 200 millimeters from the remnants of that system. So please be careful with flooding there too, and all that accumulation throughout central northern India, like 33 millimeters, 44 millimeters, all the accumulation might be thunderstorms like during the day, night, and afternoon especially. So be careful during thunderstorms and rain and everything. Might be some lightning, gusty winds, and flooding in some spots. So let's see, western India shows 94 millimeters, 91, 100 millimeters as well, some areas there. Be aware, southwestern Sri Lanka too, and some more passing showers and storms by the Nicobar Islands and Andaman Islands. So be aware there. Indonesia and Malaysia shows some more storms, especially central Borneo there. Might be more storms next 5 days, so be careful. More for Western Guinea, more than 200 millimeters in some central portions of the island along those foothills, so please be careful there. Some heavy rains throughout Papua New Guinea as well, especially there near Lae, the European showing 300, more than 200 millimeters. So some more tropical downpours there. So this island further north, close to 100 millimeters. The Solomon Islands too, more storms. So be careful there. And then the Maldives, some passing showers, a storm or two, and some more storms near the Seychelles, to 65 millimeters in some areas. So be aware there. And Pakistan a little bit better, might have some showers in the north and a storm or two in the south. China, some snow in Tibet, and some rain and more storms around northern China because of another system crossing those areas there. So be careful there. For North Korea, South Korea, some showers. In Japan, next 5 days, shows some more rain. For central Japan there, let's see Tokyo, and some other areas, some more showers, a storm or two. So nothing crazy, just be aware. Some storms in western Yemen and some showers in southwestern Saudi Arabia. And yes, so this mainly it. Please stay safe from that system there in Vietnam and China. And now we'll show you two messages, one in Chinese and another in Vietnamese, in case you don't understand English, so you can stay safe in this typhoon. So take a look here, share with others there, and thanks for watching.